Piaget's theory, the cognitive learning theory. Piaget's theory suggests that children progress through 4 different stages of cognitive development. The sensory-motor stage is the first stage in Piaget's theory. It lasts from birth to about 2 years and is a period of rapid cognitive growth. Infants develop an understanding of the world during this period by coordinating sensory experiences such as seeing and hearing with motor movements like grasping and touching. Through trial and error, children are able to develop self-awareness and discover more about the world around them. The first sub-stage is the stage of simple reflexes from birth to 1 month. Infants understand the environment purely through inborn reflexes such as sucking and looking. They start to respond reflectively to stimulation during this substage. For example, if you touch a baby's cheek or lip, he or she will automatically turn the face towards the stimulus and suck reflectively. The second substage is the stage of primary circular reactions for babies from 1 to 4 months. Activity of the baby is still focused on the body itself. This substage involves coordinating sensation and new schemas. Then, the infants will repeat the actions because they find them pleasurable. For instance, babies may wiggle their fingers, suck their thumb, and kick their legs by accident, and then later intentionally repeat these pleasurable actions. Next comes the stage of secondary circular reactions for babies aged 4 to 8 months. Children start to be attracted to the world and not only focus on the body parts. They begin to intentionally repeat an action in order to trigger a response in the environment. For example, an infant will shake the rattle again and again for the pleasure of hearing the sound that it produces.
During the stage 4, coordination of reactions, the child starts to show clearly intentional actions. They begin to explore the environment around them and will imitate the observed behavior of others. Children also begin to recognize certain objects as having specific qualities. For example, a child might realize that a rattle will make a sound when shaken. Children begin a period of trial and error experimentation during stage 5, tertiary circular reactions. They experiment with different actions to observe the different outcomes. For example, a child may try out different sounds or actions as a way of getting attention from a caregiver. During the stage 6, early representational thought, children began to develop symbols to represent events or objects in the world. They also began to move towards understanding the world through mental operations rather than purely through actions. According to the Piaget, developing object permanence is one of the most important accomplishments at the sensory-motor stage of development. Object permanence is a child's understanding that objects continue to exist even though they cannot be seen or heard. During the stage 1 and 2, babies have no conception of objects existing outside themselves. If a person or an object leaves their field of vision, babies continue to look for a moment to where they last saw it. If the object does not reappear, they go on to something else. For the baby, out of sight is out of mind. During the stage 3, if objects are dropped from baby lines of vision, they now look to the place where the object has fallen. They can find partly hidden objects, but cannot find objects that are completely hidden by others.
Where's that giraffe? Okay.
During the stage 4, babies can now find completely hidden objects. When we hit an object at point A, the babies could find it. But when we then hit the same object at point B, they again try to find it at point A. In Piaget's terms, they could not follow a series of displacements.
There he is. There he is. Where is that? Oh, there he is. There he is.
During the stage 5, children can follow a series of displacements as long as they can see us making them. And in the stage 6, children can follow invisible displacements.
Pre-operational stage. It is the second stage in Piaget's theory of cognitive development. This stage begins around age of 2 as children start to talk and lasts until approximately age of 7. During this period, children are thinking at a symbolic level but not yet using cognitive operations. This means the child cannot use logic or transform, combine or separate ideas. The first key features of the pre-operational stage is centration. Centration is the tendency to focus on only one aspect of situation at one time. Children at pre-operational stage face difficulties thinking about more than one aspect of any situation at the same time. They have trouble decentering in social situations just as they do in non-social contexts. Centration is one of the reasons that shows young children have not yet developed the understanding of conservation. They cannot perform mental operation as they just able to focus on only one characteristic of an object to the exclusion of others. The second key feature of the pre-operational stage is egocentrism. Egocentrism refers to the child's inability to see a situation from another person's point of view. The egocentric child assumes that other people see, hear, and feel exactly the same as the child does. Children's thought and communication at this stage are typically egocentric and about themselves. They consider everything from their own single viewpoint.
Hi kids! Come, have a look. What do you want to buy? I want to buy this. I like this. I buy this for mommy. I want to buy this because girls like necklace. Happy birthday, mommy! Oh, thank you, my dear. Thank you. From this scenario, we can see that Shin, the 9-year-old girl, is able to think from others' point of view, whereas Chiu, the 5-year-old girl, is still egocentric when she thinks that she likes snakes and her mom will like snakes for birthday present too.
The third key feature of the pre-operational stage is parallel play. In this stage, children often play alongside other children but not with them. Each child is absorbed in its own private world and speech is egocentric. As yet, the pre-operational child has not grasped the social function of either language or rules. The fourth key features of the pre-operational stage is symbolic play. In the pre-operational stage, children become increasingly adept at using symbols as evidenced by the increase in playing and pretending. Children begin assigning characteristics of symbols to objects. They can project the properties of one object onto another. For example, a child is able to use an object to represent something else, such as pretending a broom is a horse. The last key feature of the pre-operational stage is animism. Animism refers to the belief that inanimate objects, such as toys, have human feelings and intentions. In this stage, children frequently believe that their toys have feelings. They are attaching human qualities and feelings to an inanimate objects.
The concrete operational stage is the third stage in Piaget's theory of cognitive development. This period lasts around 7 to 11 years of age. and is characterized by the development of organized and rational thinking. Piaget considered the concrete stage a major turning point in the child's cognitive development because it marks the beginning of logical or operational thought. At this stage, the child is now mature enough to use logical thought or operation, but they can only apply logic to physical objects. Children gain the ability of conservation, classification, reversibility, seriation, transitivity, and class inclusion. Conservation is the understanding that something stays the same in quantity even though its appearance changes. This can be applied to aspects such as volume, number, length, and so on. To be more technical, conservation is the ability to understand that redistributing material does not affect its mass, number, volume, or length. Seriation, also known as logical order. It involves the ability to mentally arrange items along a quantifiable dimension, such as height, size, or weight.
Good morning, children. Today we are going to zoo. Are you excited? Yay! Before we go to zoo, please line up from short to tall.
I don't know where should I stand. Am I tall? Don't worry, I'll help you. You are shorter than me and I'm taller than you. So you stand in front of me? Huh? Oh, you are taller than her but shorter than me. So you stand between us? Okay.
Well done, children. Now let's go to the zoo.
Yay!
From the video, we can see that children in pre-operational stage do not have the ability of seriation, but children in concrete operational stage have the ability. However, although children can solve problems in logical fashion, they are typically not able to think abstractly or without looking at concrete objects.
Next, we come to the last stage, the formal operational stage. This formal operational stage begins as approximately age 12 and lasts into adulthood. As adolescents enter this stage, they gain the ability to think in an abstract manner by manipulating ideas in their head without any dependence on concrete manipulation. At this point in development, thinking becomes much more sophisticated and advanced. Kids can think about theoretical concepts and use logic to come up with creative solutions to problems. Here is an example of a scenario that shows the distinction between the concrete and the formal operational stage.
Hi everyone, welcome to our final round of Mathematics Competition 2021. There are two finalists here today. The first one is Yi! And another one is Lee! Let's get started. The first question is 21 minus 5 equals to...
60.
Correct! Ding dong ding! And the next question is Ali is taller than Abu and Mutu is taller than Ali. So, who's the tallest? Ali, Abu, Mutu?
Mutu.
Correct! The answer is Mutu! So, the winner of Maths Competition 2021 goes to... Congratulations!
Thank you.
scenario, it is obvious to see that the 12-year-old girl, E, has already reaching the formal operational stage because she has the ability to think abstractly and more understand about the structures of mathematical problems.
Skills such as logical thought, deductive reasoning, and systematic planning also emerge during this stage. Last, we will see how to implement Piaget's cognitive theory in education psychology. First, the knowledge of Piaget's stage helps the teacher to understand the cognitive development of the children as the teacher plans stage-appropriate activities to keep students active. In the classroom, teachers can apply Piaget's notions of assimilation and accommodation when introducing new knowledge. Assimilation occurs when we modify or change new information to fit into our schemas. Accommodation is when we restructure or modify what we already know so that new information can fit in better. When they can achieve what Piaget calls equilibrium, they can then move forward to against advance their knowledge. That is all from our group presentation. Thank you.